In this economy, really, if you can get a loan from a big bank or a regional bank, this is a good thing, right? And the cool thing is that PNC Bank right now is they're actually lowering their criteria when it comes to getting a business loan. And into this conversation, I really want to explain to you real quick what the hacks you can implement right now to get a business loan from PNC Bank. It doesn't matter whether you have a bad credit or a fair credit or anything, like if you have revenue or no revenue, there are ways to actually work out the system to actually qualify for a PNC business loan. So let's get into it. Here is the overview. So when you talk about PNC business loans, I want you to think about they have 4 types of business loans. They have an unsecured small business loan. They have a secure small business loan. They have a commercial real estate loan, a CRE loan, and they have a vehicle finance loan. So you got to really see what really works for you, okay? So are you looking for an unsecured small business loan? Are you looking for a secure loan? Are you looking for a CRE? Or are you trying to finance your business car? Okay, let me first walk you through the unsecured small business loan. Here, you can qualify for a loan amount that goes from $20,000 to $100,000, okay? You have a very simple application process. We love that a lot because PNC in the last few years, they've done a great deal in making sure that they are streamlining the application process. So it's very fast. You can apply at a branch, you can apply over the phone, or you can apply online, not a problem. And this is an unsecured loan. In other words, no collateral is ever required. And you can actually pay the loan back within 2 to 5 years. So this is kind of cool. And the only thing is you need to have a relationship with PNC Bank because they will actually deduct the monthly payment from your business checking account or savings account. By the way, welcome back to the show. I really appreciate having you here. And to this conversation, I want to quickly go through the ins and outs of PNC Business Loan so you have a clear idea. Next time you apply, you have all the ins and outs so that you can get approved. Now, what we love about this business loan from PNC Bank is that it's the flexibility. Like they have actually lowered their criteria. They used to be very strict when it comes to business loans. They have lowered it. So now they're asking you, they'll ask you for less paperwork. They might ask you for 3 months of bank statements and maybe 3 years of financial statements. Okay. So, but overall, this is a great loan. So you have $20,000 to $100,000. The second loan that when you're thinking about PNC Business Loan, you have the secured small business loan. Now, this loan is kind of cool if your business does have collateral, does have some assets that you think will be worth something that you want to pledge as collateral. I mean, we all know that the cool thing is if you apply for a collateralized business loan, you are getting preferential treatment, so to speak. You're getting lower APRs. You are getting a lot of benefits. Why? Because the bank is not risking anything anymore, because if something happened, they'll just repo your assets and just recoup their losses. Okay. So because of that, they're kind of comfortable working with you, and they'll give you larger loan balance, loan amounts. They will approve larger loan amounts, and they'll do that at the lower APRs. Okay. So for PNC, for their secured small business loan, they will actually approve loan amounts from $100,000 to $3 million. Okay. And you can see here the delta for the unsecured, it was $20,000 to $100,000. For the secured, you are looking at $100,000 all the way to $3 million. And you can use the cash for a lot of things. I mean, PNC is very flexible when it comes to the use of loan proceeds. They're okay. You want to use it if you want to use the cash for operational purposes, or you want to use the cash for more like business vision purposes, like you want to acquire another business, or you want to expand your reach within the industry, versus trying to use it for operational purposes, like trying to make payroll, right? Trying to pay for inventory, trying to pay for so yeah. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I'm actually explaining to you, I'm giving you the ins and outs. I'm giving you very rare hacks about how to qualify for PNC business loans. But first, I'm just explaining to you what the loans are before we actually get into the nitty gritty in terms of how do you actually work out the system to make sure you qualify for a PNC business loan. Okay, and so for the secure small business loan, you are able to get, like as I said, up to $3 million. Okay, And the loan terms up to 7 years. Just make sure your collateral is of a value, because PNC will actually will appraise the collateral to make sure it is of value. The third account I want to talk to you about is called the Small Business Commercial Real Estate Loan. So this is the part of the CRE offer at the PNC. What they do here is that they're very generous in that CRE program as well. So the loan amounts here range from $100,000 all the way to $3 million. Okay, and you can use the cash for a lot of things. So and that loan program actually covers a lot of things from mortgage to renovation and so on and so forth. And the cool thing we'll love about this loan program at the PNC is that you are able to actually have simplified payments. PNC is working with you to actually have a set of flexible, simplified payments, whereby you have your monthly payments coming out of your bank account every month. Yeah, that is, and you don't have to do anything. Okay. Just make sure that you are sure about the financial nature of the transaction, because PNC is they're stricter when it comes to a new project versus an existing project. So if you have a new project and the financial profile of that project has not been determined yet, they are more like they're more skittish. They're more like they're trying to cover their ass, which makes sense. Okay, they're a bank, and by nature banks are very conservative. And one thing I want to say here is that the loan terms on this CRE loan, PNC Commercial Real Estate Loan, they are pretty good, up to 15 years with up to 25 years amortization. Okay, so this is kind of cool, because we're speaking about like a lot of years here. Okay, and the collateral, that of course this is a CRE loan, so which means it is a collateralized loan. Okay, and the collateral required here is the equity in owner-occupied commercial real estate. So PNC wants to make sure that you have equity in owner-occupied commercial real estate, and you can parlay that equity into a collateralized arrangement, a collateralized loan arrangement with PNC, whereby they give you the cash and they will retain title in the underlying property. Okay, and so in terms of payments, you have monthly principal and interest payments that are automatically deducted from your PNC business checking account. So you need to have a relationship with PNC to qualify for this and other loans anyway. The fourth business loan that I want to talk to you about when it comes to PNC is actually the small business vehicle finance loan. So this is if you have let's say you have a one business vehicle, like your business car that you want to finance, or you have a fleet. PNC will work with you. They do have the heft, the financial heft. They have the balance sheet. They have the technical expertise to sort of accompany you on that journey, trying to find the car and trying to finance it. Not a problem. Okay, so this is great. Like if you are trying to finance new or used passenger vehicles for business use purposes. Okay, it has to be business use. So even if you are like back in the days, I'm talking 20 years ago, they did not accept if you were a sole proprietorship. But nowadays they will accept, even if they will accept you, they will accept an application for this small business vehicle finance loan program, even if you are a sole proprietorship, which is fantastic, And so here you have loan amounts that go from $10,000 to $250,000, and financing for the vehicles that your business uses every single day. And they have convenient terms. We're speaking about 24 to 72 months here, so 2 to 6 years. And so, depending on your company's situation, you might have low or no down payments. Okay, what I'm trying to say here is you might have up to 100% financing of the total invoice amount. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about PNC business loans. I'm explaining to you what those loans are, but also, most importantly, how to qualify right off the bat for those loans. Okay, and so one thing I want to say here is that it's already established that the loan amounts go from 10 grand to $250,000. Okay, and loan term up to 72 months, so 6 years, that is. Okay, you have to repay the loan within 6 years, but other than that, it's a pretty straightforward process. it's a lot better to contact them first, to actually accelerate the process. So you can do on the phone, for example, like 1-800-762-5684, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. Eastern. Or you can just go to a branch and have a conversation there. They will explain everything to you, and they will see your situation and sort of let you know what kind of loan you could qualify for. Now let's talk about what you need to apply if you are trying to get a PNC business loan. There are a few things you need to really think about. Now you need to have first of all, you need to determine whether or not you got an invite, because sometimes PNC will send you a pre-screen offer, like a pre-qualification offer. So you need to know if you have such a thing. If you do have it, they will usually direct you to a specific website or web page, whatever. And you have to enter your code and then see whether or not whatever offer code they have for you and whatever conditions are attached to this offer code. Okay. And you need to know the dollar amount. So before you apply, you need to know the dollar amount, the type of loan you are applying for, the borrowing purpose, and the collateral information, if applicable, right? I just talked to you about 4 types of PNC business loans. We have the unsecured business loan, 20 grand to 100 grand. The secured small business loan, here we're talking about 100 grand to 3 mil. For the commercial real estate loan, 100 grand to 3 mil. The small business vehicle loan, we have up to up to $250,000. So you really have to know exactly what you want to get. Okay. So you also need to have information about your business. Now, PNC is very adamant at making sure that you are demonstrating the legal nature of your business. In other words, they want to ascertain that your business is legit. So they'll ask for your business name and address. They'll ask for the type of a business organization and the year established, and they will verify that with the state. Okay. So if you're an LLC, for example, they'll verify when you were established with the state, and they will ask you for your EIN. So EIN, this is your business tax ID number. Okay. And so they'll also ask you information about each business owner. So this is where they will dig a little deeper just to make sure that they have information about each business owner's finances. They'll ask about their social. They might want to see their tax returns for the last 2 to 3 years, for example. So they'll want to see the company's own tax returns in addition to the business's tax returns as well. So you do have a constellation of criteria here that you need to abide by. So, but overall, this is a great. The process is pretty straightforward, nothing complicated, but yeah. And they'll ask, like, you may want to have a copy of your most recent business and personal tax returns also, and financial statements to actually accelerate your PNC business loan application process. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about how to get a business loan from PNC real quick, okay? And what is the formula for success to make sure that you always win, okay? That's the bottom line. You always need to win. First of all, you need to really have a clear idea about the numbers. So you want to borrow, let's say $100,000, okay? Can you actually afford that? Because see, you can borrow $100,000, but how does that translate to you in terms of monthly payments? Okay, then you take that number and you plug it into your cash inflows and cash outflows and your company's budget. Does it jive with the rest of the numbers? Are you in the right after you enter that number, or you take it out? You take it out. Those are things you need to pay attention to. So be very clear about running the numbers, and then you want to check your credit score, because PNC, before actually giving you a business loan, they will check your personal credit score and your business credit score. Okay, and they do pull all credit bureaus. People walk around and say, what do they pull from? They pull everything. PNC pulls everything. Okay, so make sure that you have decent credit scores. 600 is a great start on the business side, and 85 is a great start on the 600 is great on the personal side, and 85 is great on the business side. And you want to consider your options. Okay, are you going for a PNC unsecured business loan? Are you going for a PNC secured business loan, a PNC commercial real estate loan? Or are you going for a PNC business vehicle finance loan? So those are things you need to be really clear about so that you don't really waste your time, okay? Then you need to actually choose your loan type. The loan type is important, and sometimes you got to ask yourself whether or not PNC is actually the bank for you, because you might be like, I'm faithful to PNC. I want to really get the loan from them, but you saw the numbers, 20 to 100 grand, okay? So that's unsecured. So if you want something higher, if you want a larger loan amount, chances are you're going to have to exit the PNC ecosystem, because you're not going to get a loan that you need at that, given the current conditions. So you need to choose your loan type and be very careful about your choices. Speaking about being very careful about your choices, if you want to qualify for a PNC Business Loan, you need to actually have what we call the magical trifecta. Magical trifecta. So, number one, you want to have a business plan. I know people. Sometimes people tell you, "Well, I don't need a business plan," but you need a business plan. You need a business plan. You need a business plan, because a business plan is not just something you write for investors. No, lenders are interested in that document too. You want to have a relationship with PNC. You want to have a bank account, a checking account, or savings account before you apply for a loan. And the third thing I want you to have here is to actually think about having financial statements and tax returns. Anything that is quantitative, anything that talks about your company's, I would say, quantitative profile. It could be a financial statement. This will be really, really helpful. Okay. Usually, PNC will look at I was just thinking about BMO, because BMO's requirements are even harsher. But for PNC, if you have this trifecta, you are good to go. So financial statements / tax returns. Okay. Number two, you want to have a decent credit score. And number three, you really want to make sure that you are able to run the numbers properly. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that provide the necessary documentation, your business plan, your financials, your tax returns. Those are important, okay? And so once you do this, you should be good to go. At the end of the day, you gotta be ready to say, you know what? Maybe PNC is not the right bank for me at this point when it comes to business loans. So I'm gonna go and apply at Truist. I'm gonna go and apply at BMO Harris. I'm gonna go and apply at PNC. I'm gonna go and apply at Fifth Third, right? If you are in a geography that they cover. So it's also important to understand that if you want to get this business loan from PNC on an EIN only basis, you have to actually do it at a branch. You have to be in a situation where you are presenting those elements that I just spoke about earlier, in terms of your business plan, your financial statements, okay, you got to show your articles of incorporation. So anything that shows PNC that you are a standalone entity should be really good to go. Because the bottom line here is you want to make sure they forget about your social, they forget about your personal profile, and they give you a loan based on your business's profile, okay? And there are ways to definitely do that. It's not really as complicated as you think it is. Totally possible, not a problem. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about PNC Business Loans. I just give you an in-depth view and give you a few tips here and there. And I hope I add value to your life. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.